Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another card video at my YouTube channel and blog. Today I'm going to be creating another full card vellum shaker, and it's because I love this idea for birthday cards, and I was tasked with making a birthday card for my father-in-law for his 70th birthday, and he loves cards like this, so I thought it'd be perfect for him. So I'm going to be kind of sharing with you some of the tips that I came up with while I was working that made it a little bit easier than what I shared with you before. So I hope you'll get some good ideas out of this. I'm going to start by using the Yay for Birthdays stamp set and dies from Concord and Ninth. I'm going to use some Concord inks as well, and I'm going to be stamping 7 balloons because he's turning 70, so one for every 10 years, and I'm picking out 7 different colors. I've got poppy, marmalade, buttercup, parsley, oceanside, eggplant, and then I'm going to be adding in some honeysuckle as well. And I picked those colors so that it matches my sequins that I'm using. Once again, I'm using the Celebration sequin mix or confetti mix from Honeybee. And these colors match perfectly with those sequins. So there are 3 balloons in the stamp set. I stamped each of them in different colors. I swapped out the colors, stamped them again, and then I took one of the smaller balloons, just the one at the top, and I stamped that in the honeysuckle color. This is going to give me 7 different colorful balloons to work with on the front of my shaker card. So I'll stamp that last one, and then I'm going to get into all of the die cutting. So the coordinating dies match perfectly with these balloons, and I lined those up, held them in place with some Easy C tape, and ran them through my die cutting machine. And I did that for all 7 of the balloons, and they cut out to be perfect little images with a little bit of a white space around the outside. I really love how these turned out. So now I have 7 different balloons, and I'm going to work on the grading. I'm going to be using the 6x6 pad from Decades with a View. This is the solid gold matte stack, and I'm going to flip through these so you can see all the fun patterns. That really glittery one, I'm not sure what I'd do with it because it looks a bit messy, but the other ones I think would be so beautiful for different really large greetings on cards. I'm going to use this more flat shimmery gold one. And I'm using a die set from CZ Design. This is the Chunky Birthday die set. And I'm going to cut out the actual words from that gold. And then I'm going to cut the shadow one out of some white cardstock. And I'll hold those in place with more Easy C tape as I run them through my die cutting machine. This is a really easy way to have kind of a statement greeting on a card. So I made sure to save the interior pieces on this die cut, because I'm going to be adhering all those individual lines on the inside. So first I adhered the outline of the letters using some Honeybee precision glue. I just dabbed some little glue spots kind of all over that die cut, and then I adhered it directly onto the white shadow or halo piece. And I got that kind of in place and I wiggled it. That's why I like to use liquid glue, because it gives me a little bit of time to wiggle that around. Press that down, and then I placed the interior of the letters inside. I did not glue them, I just placed them inside like a puzzle piece. And then I put some glue on the little outline piece and put that right inside. And that gives me perfect placement for those interior pieces. Otherwise, you're just sort of guessing on where they're supposed to go. So after those were glued in, then I could lift out very carefully that piece that was not glued down, it was just placed inside. So I'll lift that up very carefully, and then I have my interior pieces glued down. Did the same for the other interior pieces. Eventually I just started putting dabs of glue down in all the little corners, and then I was able to adhere that a little bit more quickly. So I'll lift this up and out of the way, and here is my main section of my grading. I'm going to add a little bit of a word right above that in the end, but I love that gold shimmer on that birthday. So here's the vellum part. My card is 5 by 7, so I'm cutting my vellum piece to be 1 inch larger in each dimension. So I cut this vellum to 6 by 8. Once again, it's 1 inch larger than my 5 by 7 card base. I'm then taking a scoreboard and I'm going to score from each edge a half an inch. So I'm scoring half an inch from that edge right there, and then I'll rotate it around and I can do half inch from the other edges. And this is going to basically outline a 5 by 7 card in the center of my vellum piece. So it's going to create a folded vellum piece that's exactly 5 by 7. So for those pieces that are those edges that are a little too long for my scoreboard, I just rotated it and continued on with that scoring line. So this very last line is, I'm going to do it from the half inch edge all the way down to the bottom, making sure I get a nice straight scoring line. And then I'm going to start to fold up the corners a little bit and cut the corners to prep them. So after you score the vellum, it's going to want to naturally kind of fold up. So go with the way it's kind of already going and just fold it in that direction. And by the way, this vellum I'm using today is very thick. If you have a thinner vellum, I think that it would work even better. So now I'm going to take my scissors and just cut each corner. And I'm just going to cut to the intersection of where those two score lines meet. And this is going to give a nice flat folded corner. Continue cutting out the corners. And then I'm going to lift up the corners and kind of get everything folded and make sure that it's going to fold up nicely once I have it past this point when I cut out the corners. So I'm going to kind of play with those edges and kind of bend them up a little bit, get them kind of not quite all the way folded over, just get those a little ways, and then come and crease them with a bone folder. And that's going to make it super flat and easy to use. So after I have my vellum piece pretty much ready to go, I'm going to start prepping the cardstock that's going to go on the inside. Now, the one thing I really learned from that first vellum shaker I did before is that the interior cardstock piece needs to be a little bit smaller than your card size. So I cut this 5 by 7 piece of cardstock. I just took 1/8 of an inch off of each direction. So it's just a little bit smaller than my 5 by 7 card. And it just gives it just enough room for that paper to go inside and have the folds be perfect. Taking some 1/8 inch score tape, you could use any tape adhesive for this. Add that to all the flaps, and then you're going to put the sequins on the inside. So I'm putting my sequins mix or the confetti mix right inside. I find the confetti works better for these cards as opposed to sequins because they're flat. They're not quite as bulky. Putting my paper right over the top. I'm going to kind of get that in place, and then I'll peel up the release paper on the tape. I'm going to wiggle my cardstock, get it just perfect, and then fold over that flap. And once you have the first one adhered, it's much easier to get the other ones adhered. So I'll just peel up that side, fold it over. And because I've done all that prep work with scoring and folding and making sure that these flaps fold over really easily, I don't have any issue at all adhering these. So here is the actual shaker piece made, and you can see those sequins move around inside. It's so fun, and it just makes me think of confetti at a birthday party. So now I have a 5 by 7 card base, and I'm adhering it right on top, and now I have my card. So here is the basic card made, and all I have to do is decorate the front of the card. And I have all the elements except for one tiny one, and I'll show that to you when we get there. So I'm going to kind of arrange all of my pieces on the front of the card, get all those balloons arranged, and start adhering everything. So when it comes to the balloons, I wanted to have them overlap. So I had some adhered with foam tape and some with glue. I'm now using the reverse All Things Happy sentiment strips from CZ Design. I just cut out the word happy, And I'm going to be adhering that right above the word birthday once I have everything adhered. So after I have all my balloons done, then I put some foam behind my greeting. And I was not shy on the foam tape. And I placed that down. And then I put a little bit of foam behind the happy and adhered that as well. Now these balloons need strings, so I grabbed a black marker. And if you're looking for a marker that works well on vellum, use something like a Sharpie or an alcohol-based marker. Those would work great on vellum. So I drew in some strings, kind of little wonky ones. And if you notice, I only have 6 strings up on the top here when I'm done. But I will see that I'm missing that 7th string here in a minute, and I'll add it. So I have strings coming down to the birthday and then below as well. I added a few little details on the balloons with a white gel pen and then added that last 7th string. Add a few more details on the red balloon up there, just some little hearts, and that will finish off the card. So I love doing cards like this when it's specifically for someone special. Really, really fun. And I really love this idea with the vellum shaker. I know a lot of you loved that idea as well. In the comments, you were all saying you wanted to give it a try. I hope this method that I showed in this video gives you an even clearer picture on how you can assemble this full card vellum shaker with as much ease as possible. Thanks so much for watching today. I'll be back on Wednesday with another card video. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.